Hello everyone. I like to start off by asking a simple question. What is your passion? What do you like to do? How many of you have been asked this in your UGC class before? I see a few nodding heads. And when you've answered, have you ever stopped to think, am I saying this because I truly love it or because it sounds good for something? I ask this because I realized a strange cycle, especially when we're approaching high school, especially when we're applying for universities. We're told that good academic grades aren't enough. We need hobbies, activities, passions, and something to show that we're well-rounded. But instead of just writing down what lights us up, we start to design our hobbies like a resume bullet point. For example, if I'm applying in engineering, I suddenly become a robotic enthusiast, even if I've never touched a robot before. If I want to study biology, I suddenly joined the environmental club just to write about it in my essay. Never mind, I hate the activities in it. We lie to ourselves, our teachers, and the mission officers. We spend hours on something we don't even care about just to tick a box. And slowly, that lie becomes a habit. We forgot what it feels like to do something just for the joy of it. To paint a picture, not because it looks good in a portfolio, but because we just want to blend the colors in. To play the guitar, not because we want to list it as a skill, but because the music just calms us down after a long day. But here's the truth. Admission officers aren't looking for the perfect list of hobbies. They're looking for you, the real you. They're looking forward to what makes your eyes lit up, what you're willing to spend time on even when nobody's watching. Because a true passion that comes from the heart will always shine brighter than the ones that are made up for form. I've seen this firsthand. My older friend Lily, who's always loved painting. She's been painting since the age of 5, filling every sketchbook she has, from a beautiful sunset to her own pet cat. And when she applied to universities, she didn't even try she was into anything else, like going to the art museum every weekend or talking to some art directors. No, these are lies. What she did was just simply showing her sketchbooks and talking to the teachers about how painting processes her emotions and how she once spent 10 hours straight just sitting at her workshop, finishing her piece because she just couldn't stop. And as you might guess, she got accepted in the end. It was not because her hobby was perfect for her art major, but because it was actually real. It was what she loved. On the other hand, I know someone who spent a whole year volunteering in a hospital just because he thought it would help his medical school application. But the truth is, he was shy and he didn't like being around sick people, but he forced himself to go, even if he hated every minute of it. But when he wrote about it in his essay, it was pretty obvious. His words were flat, his stories empty, and he didn't get accepted. Later on, he told me that he regretted every minute of it. He wasted a whole year of time doing something he didn't even care about, just for someone else's approval. Like, what's the point? So here comes my second question. Why do we lie to ourselves? Why do we do this to ourselves? I'm so confused that my PPT is full of question marks. But this time, the problem is not that complex. This time, I don't need to explain that law to tell you guys the problem. This time, it's fairly simple. And I believe some of you might already have the answers in your head right now. And let me be straightforward. It's because we're afraid. We're afraid that our hobbies aren't perfect enough. That liking to read fantasy novels is just too silly. That playing video games is just a waste of time. That collecting stamps is just too old-fashioned. To some weird phenomenon, we believe you need to have the perfect list of hobbies to be valued and to be accepted. However, that is just not true. Your passion is valid no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be something that makes you look smart or talented. It just has to be something you do for yourself. Because when you follow your passions, amazing things happen, and really do. You become more focused, more confident, and more alive. You develop skills even without trying because you love what you're doing. And when you talk to other people about it, they can feel the energy around you. And this kind of energy is actually what will stand out in applications, in job interviews, and in life. So now, you may actually have a question. Why am I saying about hobbies, about passions, not about those fancy scientific stuffs or the popular AI? It's because I want to make a simple request. Just stop designing your hobbies. Stop letting what looks good take over what feels good. Pick up that sketchbook you've abandoned. Play that instrument you've forgotten how to use. Join that club you've always been curious about. Don't let your passion become a tool. Don't let it be something you do for a grade, application, or someone else's approval. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing isn't getting into those top universities. It's being true to yourselves, finding who you are, what is your passion, and holding on to it no matter what. So, after today, please go out there, find your passion, and don't let it go. Thank you.